What is up, everybody? It is Mr. M, and I'm back again with another collection video. Number 4, I'm pretty sure. This first one we got is The Black Parade is Dead, the only official live release by My Chemical Romance. Live CD and DVD. The CD and one of the shows on the DVD was recorded live in Mexico, and there was another show on the DVD that was done in a small club in New Jersey. And in both of those shows, you can see the high production that went into the Black Parade tour that they were doing in support of the record. You can see all the massive production that went into it. And then when they were playing the show in New Jersey, you can just see the continued high energy that they were putting out show after show. Next up, we got Black Veil Bride's self-titled record. You can shit on me all you want for liking this band, I do not care. However, I didn't particularly like this record. It was not a great follow-up to Wretched and Divine, which was the previous record, of course. However, Black Veil Brides did do a lot of extensive touring on this. And because of the success of the previous records that they had put out before that record, including Wretched and Divine and then Set the World on Fire, they were able to put on the biggest show that they had ever put on, and then because of that record, they ended up releasing a live DVD as well from one of the shows that they did on that tour. Next up is Cannibal Corpse with The Bleeding. This came out in 2006. It was a reissue. Obviously, the original one came out in 1994. The final record to be put out with Chris Barnes as vocalist, and the reissue version came with a cover song of The Exorcist by Possessed. Without a doubt, Cannibal Corpse's best record, and I can't say it's my favorite Cannibal Corpse record, but it was, along with Torture, it was one of the first death metal records and first Cannibal Corpse records I ever listened to, and deserves all the praise that it got when it came out, and it still gets now. It is like can't think of the words. It was like what you look up to when you're in a death metal band, or I can't think of the words for it. It's that good of a record. Next up is The Bones of What You Believe by Churches. This is an electro pop band from the United Kingdom, I believe, or Ireland maybe. I kind of have a love-hate relationship with this record because the only reason I bought this, I bought it off of listening to one song, which was the opening track called The Mother We Share. And then the rest of the record, I just haven't really gotten into all that much. It's just like, I'm sure everyone has those records where they buy it off of one song. They like the one song in it, and they don't really give a shit about the rest of the record. That's what it's like for me with that one. Next up is Palais Royale with Boom Boom Room Side A. It came on this nice gatefold-like presentation, and their drummer drew all of this artwork. He's a pretty good artist. And then the back, there was a deluxe version. I don't think it was on a CD though. It included 2 extra songs. And this is meant to be a double record, which is why it's called Side A. They're supposed to put out Side B this year. I think it was already supposed to come out, but they weren't able to do it because of touring. But that's the first part of it, and then Side B this year, next year, whenever it comes out. That's what the fuck? Fucking phone. Side B, whenever it comes out this year, next year, it's supposed to be the second part of the record. Yeah, they're a great band. They kind of They kind of have a more old school sound, like underproduced kind of sound. They kind of sound like the production anyway kind of sounds like the Beatles stuff. A lot of the aspects of it, especially their live performances, kind of remind me of My Chemical Romance. Um, Next up is Pinkish Black with Bottom of the Morning. I got this out of the Relapse Records grab bag. It was one of the bands I had never heard of before that I got from that grab bag. And they play kind of like a sludgy doom. God, I got the glare of my phone in that one. They play kind of a sludgy, doomy kind of metal. And it's not something that I particularly enjoy that much. I'm very selective about the doom metal that I do listen to. And Pinkish Black I think they only have 2 records out right now. On that one and the other record that I've listened to, the songs for me seem to go by pretty quick, but it's just not something that I really enjoy listening to all that much. Next up is the same CD, but these next 2 are the same CD. It's Brain Stew and Jaded, single by Green Day. These singles were off of Insomniac. It includes Do Da Da, as well as a demo version of Good Riddance, which appeared on the record Nimrod, which came out after Insomniac, as well as a radio edit of Brain Stew. I got this version, which I believe came from Australia, or I don't know, it's probably Germany or somewhere in Europe. And then I got this version also, which I got on eBay for pretty cheap. It's an unopened one. It includes the same track listing, and it's on that Brain CD, which it says that the CD could damage CD players. However, since I have this other version of it, I never really planned on opening this one. I was pretty happy that I could get it sealed. Next up, Green Day again with Bullet in a Bible. This was their first official live release. They did a couple that I believe were released only in Japan. CD and DVD. This was recorded while they were touring on American Idiot. And unlike the other live release, Awesome as Fuck, which I talked about in my first or second collection video, this one has less songs than Awesome as Fuck. However, it includes more songs off of American Idiot. There's 14 songs total. They did 7 off of American Idiot, as well as, of course, some bunch of older stuff. They didn't play any stuff off of their first 2 records. Well, actually they did, but it wasn't recorded on the CD. You could see in the DVD, they recorded a bunch of behind the scenes stuff. They blended the behind the scenes stuff and the concert all in one. So they'd play one song, and then it would show some touring stuff, behind the scenes shit, and they showed the set list from the show, and there was 4 other songs that they played that didn't end up on the CD or the DVD. And Knowledge was one, which was a cover off of Operation IB cover that they did on their second EP that they released, as well as Homecoming, which is also off of American Idiot, and then a couple other songs that I can't really remember at the moment. And then this last one I got, Butchered at Birth by Cannibal Corpse. For whatever reason, the CD version of this took fucking forever for me to get. I got this on 2 different versions of vinyl before I ended up getting it on CD. And I think I got it used, I can't really remember, but this is a reissue, came out in 2000 or 2002, something like that. It includes a bonus song, a re-recorded song of Covered with Sores, which was featured on this record, but the re-recorded version includes Corpse Grinder and Pat O'Brien on vocals and guitar. And it also came with the video, and I'm hoping to get a original version of this. It came with I don't know what that part is. Some writing stuff. I think that inspired Chris Barnes to write some of the lyrics. Then it includes a bit of liner notes from Paul Mazurkowitz, reminiscing on the recording of Butchered at Birth. This was their first, in my opinion, this is their first death metal real death metal record. The first one, Eaten Back to Life, was more of a, it had more thrash influences as opposed to death metal influences. But I'm not complaining at all. Butchered at Birth, that's what, that was the first record that gave him the censored album art. And Chris Bard's writing, of course, unparalleled. People talk about, when people talk about Corpse Grinder or Chris Barnes, one of the things that always comes up is the lyrical content, since Corpse Grinder doesn't really write any of the lyrics. I know he did a bit of writing when he got into Cannibal Corpse, but The Bleeding, Butchered at Birth, Tomb of the Mutilated, Eaten Back to Life, all the records that Chris Barnes did, the writing on that just can't be topped. Anyway, that is the end of this collection video. Thanks for watching and subscribing. I'm getting a bunch of new stuff in soon, so maybe the next video I do won't be another collection video, but we'll see, since I do have quite a bit of things coming in. But yeah, thanks again for watching and liking and subscribing and commenting, and I will see you in my next video.